Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. You are joining me for the Lions versus Glasgow URC clash today. You are joining me live, and I'd love to know where you are all joining me from. We've obviously got a very exciting game of rugby to come. Stephen has just finished the Sharks versus Ulster game. This Saturday is packed full of rugby. I mean, we've got all of the Six Nations games as well as the URC happening today. So lots to look forward to and lots of rugby to be watching. Hopefully some great tries. And this game here, Lions versus Glasgow Warriors, is of course a very, very big game for both teams. As we Lions especially are desperately looking for a bounce back win. They've really struggled as of late. So what we want to see hopefully is a Lions team that's a bit more up for it today. Just hopefully going to take on Glasgow Warriors properly and essentially let's see what the Lions can do. Glasgow, of course, not a brilliant team in the URC and not sitting very comfortably in the table either. So Lions should be looking at this as a home game to really capitalize and ensure that they get the victory today. I will go through these teams right now. I am just currently bringing them up and give you a bit more of a preview for what is in store in this game. As I say, you can jump across to our other live stream. We will be watching Italy versus Ireland. Stephen will be doing that match, which of course will be highly anticipated. Just looking here at the preview for this game. We've obviously got noticing that these are catch-up games. Glasgow and Lions. I'm just just reading through here. The Warriors adding to their many and growing challenges. The Lions have lost 2 more matches at home than they've won this season, losing 4, winning just 2. Glasgow Warriors did, of course, manage to get a victory against Ulster last weekend, which is not bad at all. So we are going to see how they can fare today, essentially. I am just sort of waiting on the kickoff. I think kickoff is happening at 10 past 4. We'll confirm that for you as well. But I do believe that is when we will see rugby taking place in the form of Lions versus Glasgow Warriors. As I said, please do let me know where you're watching along from. I'm very keen to find out, of course. Just trying to bring up some comments here. Somebody asking what DSTV channel is it? It's a good question because even me, myself, and I am attempting to find out. I think it will be on 211. 203 should 201 should be reserved for the Six Nations game. So we should be on 211. But as I say, I will confirm that for you. Until then, as I say, what did you guys think of the Sharks game that came just before this now? Sharks not really doing particularly well. And as of recent form is also showing the team that have got an incredible amount of talent, but just not getting the purchase that they really want from the players they've got. I just want to quickly find that game, just to go through what happened just there. So yeah, right at the end of the game, we see Sharks losing. Losing to Ulster, 31-24. So big game there. Sharks not able to capitalize at home against obviously a very, very strong Ulster side, one of the strongest sides in the competition. But nonetheless, Sharks with all their talent, obviously missing a few of them, will rue the chances missed there in that game. And we do have some more URC action, as I say, coming your way now. I am actually just trying to find the game because the Six Nations game is obviously taking preference now on all the channels. So just trying to find out where this Lions game will in fact take place. I do believe actually it might well be on 201, so that will be quite interesting. Kleinman Miller there saying, yes, I will just check reply maybe later. Sharks need to do better. Yeah, Sharks, unfortunately, not getting that win earlier. So we do have another South African side coming up here. Let's see if they can get the win today. This is Lions, of course, however, who have not had a particularly good season at all. So we will Have to see how they can fare. I'm just going to quickly create a poll here. And I would love for you guys to participate in it. And it's just going to basically say, who will win this clash? Question mark. And we're going to add some options here. Who we're going to add? Start a poll, shall we? Who will win this clash? We're going to say Lions. We're going to say Glasgow. And we're going to add an option for a draw. That should somehow happen. And we're going to ask our community that. Clayman there saying again, let's hoop. Ooh, let's hoop. I think it means let's hope. Let's hope Lions don't lose too bad. Yeah, let's indeed hope that. Let's actually hope for the complete opposite. Let's hope for a win for the Lions. That should be taking place. The kickoff will be in 4 minutes' time from Ellis Park, or Emirates Airline Park as it is now known. And we are very keen to see how that all goes. And just quickly doing a look at the game. It's coming up. As I said, it's actually kicking off a quarter past today. I do apologize. I keep saying 10 past. It's hitting off a quarter past. Still just another 8 minutes to go. So I'll just quickly preview some of the things that we're looking forward to in this game. So Lions are heading into this game with a lineup of the following. Our front row in the scrum is JP Smith, Buerta, and Klabakanya. The locks for today will be Fenter and Skuman. And the loose forwards, Creel, Chituka, and Frankie Horn, who is back. Big boost for the Lions to have Horn back in the starting lineup. Number 9 is my favorite number 9. I'm glad they've gone with him today. It's Nahamba, who is back as well. He's been back for a little bit. Gianni Lombard at 10 as well. Our wingers for today is Fanamerva and Matlane. And the centres are Lowe and Russ, with our fullback, Quaid Horn. Or it's Horn as well, but that is a Q Horn there. So Lions coming with a very good team, one hopes. Can do the business. The biggest issue is that I do believe Lions do have a serious problem in their hooker position. They desperately need some new hookers. Buerta, for me, is not the one. Of course, me being a Lions fan, I'm going to obviously be a little bit more critical of that team. But yeah, Buerta, I do think is a small weak link in that team. Nonetheless, it should be a side that can challenge quite well against this Glasgow Warriors side, who I can now name the team for you. The front row, Macbeth of South Africa, Matthews and Hooker, and Sodoni in the other prop on the other side. The locks for today will be Bean and Cummings. The loose forwards, Miller, Daj, and Vailanu, of course, of Tonga. And then our number 9 and 10, Dobie and Jordan, respectively. Our wingers for Glasgow Warrior, Caven and Forbes. Centres, Johnson, McDowell, and in the fullback position, McKay. It's a very international side, this, of the Glasgow Warriors. We've got 1 South African, we've got 3 Englishmen, we've got an Argentinian, we've got 6 Scotsmen, 2 New Zealanders, and an Australian. And onto their bench, all of them are Scottish, except for the likes of Dupree. Of course, very famous Jean-Luc Dupree, that is number 19. So the bench for Lions is looking like this. The hooker replacement is Brandon. Our prop replacements are Reinsberger and Dreyer. The lock positions Dalport. Loose forward Strali. And then going to the back line, we've got Morne Vandenberg, we've got Jonker, and we've got Kutsia. That is Andries Kutsia, of course, stalwart of the Lions team. He is back, obviously, after a short stint away from the team for a couple of years overseas. The bench for Glasgow Warriors is saying Fraser, Dell, Bergen, Dupree, Ferry, Gordon, Kennedy, and Weir. So a very interesting game we have ahead of us. If we're talking about betting odds, in case you are betting on this game, we're going to look at more or less around about odds of 1.83 to 2.13 in favor of the Glasgow Warriors. So Glasgow Warriors to win 1.8 and the Lions to win 2.1. So Glasgow, the bigger favourites for this game. But Lions, of course, are at home, and hopefully they can do something with the return of Captain Fantastic, or not Captain Fantastic, but I call him Captain Fantastic. We've got Frankie Horn back in this lineup, so they will be very happy. And the only thing about the Lions, of course, which is something interesting that we can talk about, is the fact that the players don't seem to have a lot of confidence in Cash, the coach. Apparently, that was a recent article that came out, a bit of news that came out. Apparently, the players are not backing Cash, and that is obviously not going to do very well for their hopes and for their team today. Because if the team does not back your coach, it's going to be very difficult to wholeheartedly go into his strategy and follow his orders. So, very interesting times for the Lions right now. It really is a club in desperate need of change and of change and fortune as well, because otherwise you could look for a big collapse in the season. Just going to go to the comments here. Clemens saying Johan Ackermann must come back. Do you agree we bring back Ackermann? Of course, Ackermann was the one who got the Lions back into real contention, especially in Super Rugby, making the Super Rugby final 3 years in a row, which is exceptional. Unfortunately, not winning one of those, which is really a little bit unfortunate. But nonetheless, yeah, Ackermann was a fantastic coach for the Lions, and maybe that is somebody they need. It's not that I don't believe in Cash, though. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was very skeptical of Cash when he joined, because I was thinking he's not really got the experience to say that he should be leading this Lions side in terms of a coaching position. But nonetheless, a lot of rugby played under him, and they have done very well. So he has somewhat backed himself, but unfortunately, as of late, really not doing particularly well. Donnie DeToy here saying, not much hope for the Lions. Too many politics for Ackers. Yeah, I'm not so sure politics has too much to do with his want to come back. I think it's a money issue as well. You know, at the end of the day, when you do earn a lot of money overseas, one will tend to stay overseas as well. So just to go and look at the standings in the URC as well at the moment, we do find Lions all the way down in 14th out of 16 teams. I mean, just to tell you the form, loss. Those are the last 5 games for the Lions, all losses. And we look at the Glasgow Warriors, all wins, 5 wins there for the Glasgow Warriors. So really not boding well for the Lions in that regard. But however, it is currently the Six Nations, which means the Glasgow Warriors have lost a lot of their big name players to the Six Nations and to the international teams there in the Six Nations. So that is why the odds are not actually completely dominant on the Glasgow Warriors side, because they are missing a large amount of their squad. So as a result, you are going to be seeing maybe a more competitive Lions side, and if that is indeed the case, that would be a very good match for us today. Of course, Glasgow Warriors in 4th, Lions in 14th. Could the Lions finally get a win? And could the Glasgow Warriors finally get a loss? These are the sort of things that we're talking about. And yeah, just looking at the table right now, the 8 teams making it through to the quarterfinals as it stands are Leinster, Stormers, Ulster, Glasgow Warriors, Munster, Bulls, Sharks, and Connacht. So the Lions side, the only South African side not in those positions at the moment. However, points are actually a lot closer than you think they are. Lions win today with a bonus point. They move up to 29 points, and they'll move up into 12, depending on the goal difference or points difference. And should they win another game after that, and some of the results go their way, they're right on the door and knocking on the door for those qualifying positions. However, of course, we have played 14 matches already. Oh, well, this is the 14th match week. Not too many matches left for this league. So we will have to see whether or not they can do anything before then. So, crowd is there somewhat. It's quite a small crowd, unfortunately, and it does always look a lot smaller when you look inside Ellis Park. It is a huge stadium, of course, 60,000 seats or 65,000 seats even. So a very, very big stadium. So even if there are only 10,000 people in there, it looks like there are almost nobody there. Their 50th cap there for a Glasgow Warriors team. One of the players they're getting his 50th cap, so having a walk out ahead of his team. Glasgow Warriors captain McDowell, centre position. He's rallying his troops up, getting them ready for this clash, and the Lions now coming out of the tunnel as well. And yeah, I suppose whilst we've got people here, I would love to know your thoughts about how do you reckon the Six Nations matches are going to go today? Of course, Italy versus Ireland, that is happening just in a bit. And then we've got other matches, of course, England playing today. Today? I think it's today as well. So I would love to know your thoughts about what's going to happen in the Six Nations Rugby Internationals. And then also, of course, for this game itself, the Lions versus Glasgow Warriors. It seems that we are hosting a moment of silence or something. I don't know. They're all taking pictures, or at least they're standing in the middle of the field. I don't quite know what it's for. Find out now. No, just... yeah, we are moment of silence for Anton Venter, Ruan Venter's father, of course, who did pass away, unfortunately, a couple of days ago. A very, very horrible moment for Ruan Venter. So we are wishing him all the best for that. Horrible, horrible news, of course. The big thing about this, of course, is the fact that he is actually playing in today's match, and we see him tearing up there a bit, and it must be quite hectic. It's quite incredible that he is actually playing today. He literally passed away a couple of days ago, and has chosen to play today. And so I actually fully expect him to have a hell of a game, because he will be playing for his late father. So Ruan Venter, I take my hat off to you, and I really hope that you have a great game today. Just going back to the comments here, we've got Grant here saying Wales to beat England and Scotland to beat France. Well, those are big calls, of course. Scotland in a lot of form. France, of course, a very good team still, so we're very interested to see if that actually happens. Wales to beat England is a big call. Then saying the moment of silence for the death of Lions Rugby. Yeah, it's not quite. I won't participate in a joke manner there. It is quite unfortunate for Ruan Venter, who has lost his father. So he is playing today, so I'll be very keen to see how he does. Kickoff has happened. Lions receiving the kickoff, and Gianni Lombard immediately kicking it into touch just after his 22. So Lions immediately going to have to start defending in this game. Glasgow Warriors with possession, having their own line out now, just to say outside the Lions 22. Can the Lions get some points today? Can they do something? Can they spark themselves into a little bit of form going to the end of the season? Michiel, I think it's Michiel or McKeel. I apologise, but nonetheless, your surname Low, saying England will probably beat Wales. I hope Scotland can win against France tomorrow. I'm often reminded of the tough pool the Boks will find themselves in come the World Cup. Indeed, it is very, very tough. As we come back to Glasgow Warriors here, who tried an interesting backline move, but Lions very equal to it in defence and have pushed them all the way back to the 10-metre line in their own half. But Glasgow Warriors still in possession and now choosing to charge it up with the forwards. Klabakanya there with the tackle eventually, making a little bit of ground there, the Glasgow Warriors. Now spreading it through the line, giving it to the big number 8, of course, of Tonga. Now passing it through the line. It's missed all the players, so Lions can come through all the way to the halfway. And it's a good tackle, fantastic tackle there from the Lions. And they push them all the way back within the Glasgow half. So doing very, very well there, the Lions, to push them back. So Lions doing very well in defence so far. And Glasgow Warriors having to now chip it over in between. And it's gone out, I think. Or it's bounced, it's still in. I found him over with the ball, passes it into midfield. And it's hit out, I think, by Horn. I'll see where this ball goes out. Just right next to the Lions 10-metre line. So early signs show that the Lions have got a very high defensive line here that's working very well. So, it's a very rushed defence. Seems to be doing the job so far. However, only 2 minutes in. And we will see if they can withhold the Glasgow Warriors yet again, as they've got a line out now. The ref's just calling time here. I think he's just chatting to a couple of people about something. I think there's an issue with space in the line out. No, just a small injury to Ruan Venter. Lions number 4. So yeah, early possession for the Glasgow Warriors. There's not too much to talk about, as I say, as of yet. But certainly is a big possible match for the Lions to try and get some points. If they do get points in this match, it'll be huge for them, of course. Glasgow Warriors sitting 4th in the table currently. And it is a lineup gone straight over. It's definitely a planned lineup from Glasgow Warriors. And they're spreading it through the line. They've not chipped it in behind. There's a little bit of space. Lions seemingly defending it well. It's knocked on by Glasgow Warriors. And then it's spilt a little bit by the Lions. I think they're going to have to come back here. It's still advantage to the Lions. It's a tackle made that they're going to have to release. Apparently not, says the ref. But nonetheless, the ball was knocked on. So they will come back for a scrum just inside the Lions 22 on the near touch line in the shade. If you're watching, the field is half in the shadow and half in the sun. Of course, it is about almost 20 past. It is 20 past 4 in the afternoon here in Joburg. So, yeah, the sun will be playing a part on the one side and not so much the other side. And as the game goes on, there will be less and less sun. So very unfriendly for those players when having to look straight into the sun as they try and catch the ball. So sometimes you will see a couple of knock-ons and other such errors. So looking at these pack weights, they are very, very heavy. Lions just edging it by just 1 kg, 935 kgs to the Lions, 934 kgs to the Glasgow Warriors. So very heavy packs, these two here. And then that extra kg comes from Nklabakanya of the Lions, of course. Massive unit, but gets around so well. Lions doing very well to scrum, yeah, scrubbing it past. And balls come out, so they're not going to come back for anything. It's spreading it through the line. It comes to Horn, who's opting to run with it. He's got Van der Merwe with him. Van der Merwe receives the ball, and he has made it just close to the 10-meter line inside the Lions half. And the Humber passes it out. It comes to, I think it's Skuman, I think it was, who picked that ball up. Now to Horn, who carried it himself, not able to get anywhere. Oh my word, very loose pass there from the Lions. It comes all the way back to Johnny Lombard, who has to kick. It's not a fantastic kick. It's straight up. Straight down the throat. Oh, it's knocked. It's a knock-on. Knock-on from Glasgow Warriors. So a big mistake there. And Lions will now have an early opportunity here to try and utilize the scrum, which is just in the middle of the Glasgow 10-meter line and 22-meter line, I'd say. So Lions got their own scrum now again, which they seem to have got a little bit of dominance in that first one. So Cavan there making the mistake for the Glasgow Warriors, knocking it on after that kick from Johnny Lombard. So Lions, as I say here, with an attacking scrum. And we'll see how they do. And I'll tell you something, I would love to see a Lions win today. It would really make my day a little bit. Just quickly having a look at some of the stats here in this game. I do apologize. Just going back here, the scrum has been set. The Lions getting a bit of forward momentum. They are pushing forward. It's a good scrum for the Lions. The grass has been ripped up, however. The ref says play on. He's not calling it. I just said it's gone straight up, so I don't know what happened there. Lions clearly got dominance there, but I think Glasgow Warriors did just enough to avoid giving away the penalty. But I'm surprised the penalty didn't come, because I think what the ref said is, I think the problem was that the scrum didn't have too much dominance on both sides. It was one side more than the other. So I think rather than calling a penalty either way, just reset the scrum and see how they fare. And of course, I'd love to hear your questions, hear your thoughts. Please do ask me anything you wish, anything you please, and I will do my best to answer with my own opinion. And otherwise, fact, should it be something requiring of that. And I'll do a little bit of research for you, of course, as well. So, getting back into the scrum here, they've reset the scrum. They're crouching, they're binding, they are setting. Nahamba now feeding the ball into the scrum. The Lions still getting a little more purchase, go straight down on the Nklabakanye's side, so it's going to be a penalty against the Lions. But the problem is this Ellis Park pitch is not holding up very well under the scrum at all. I don't think we can necessarily blame Nklabakanya there. I think, unfortunately, the grass just ripping up a lot. Don't quite know why the grass would be ripping up. Joburg has had quite a bit of rain recently, but also has had a dry patch, so the grass should be quite stable. But you can just see here the two scrums they've had here. All the grass has been ripped up in the middle of the field. So really not good for either side, and they want to be avoiding scrums as a result now. So Glasgow utilising that kick and kicking for touch. And we'll see if they can convert any points as a result. Ref just telling the Lions to stay on the line here. It's literally this line out is just on the 22-meter line. Lions going to have to do some more defending again after having what would have been an early opportunity from that scrum had they won it. Glasgow Warriors now passing it through, and they found a gap, and they found it to Kevin. He will go in behind. It was a great little move after the line out. Lions not able to defend it, and Lions already find themselves a try down. It's Kevin with the try for the Glasgow Warriors. That is Elias Kevin. Yeah, basically just good classic backline move here from the scrum. Takes it straight out, one dummy runner, passes straight to the man. Actually, Lions should defend that a lot better because not too many different runs to watch. Just very much not following their man and not making the tackle. Very direct from the Glasgow centres, and then just passes it back into Kevin, who's running an inside line and finds himself open with space, and it will be a very easy try. He will not score a much easier try than that in a good while. Just had to literally run about 10 meters without anybody on him and go straight for the try. First try of the game for the Glasgow Warriors about 8 minutes in. We've got the conversion here to come. Not too difficult. Should be relatively easy for Tom Jordan, who of course is having his first kick of the match. So Lions, who are needing a change in fortunes, already finding themselves 5 points, potentially 7 points down in these early stages of this game. But they need to bounce back as quickly as possible as well. And the kick is successful. So Glasgow Warriors do lead the Lions 7 points to 0. Yeah, it's a bit poor from the Lions defensively. They just got dragged out there quite easily. They should have dealt with that a little bit better, if I'm honest. So, ball is kicked off again. And it's deep into the Glasgow half there. Lions doing very well to make the tackle just on the edge of the 22. Almost stolen, I feel, actually, the ball. And then they managed to keep going through the tackle. Glasgow Warriors now trying to shift it through, but it was a hospital pass. And then Klabakanye wrapped him up very well. So Glasgow Warriors now having an opportunity to try and see if they can clear it out. They're not. They're going to run it through the line, and they're passing it through. Comes to the forwards here, just on the wing, but not able to get past this Lions defensive line as of yet. And they try to charge it up again. And PJ Buerta's over it, but not able to hold his feet. And the ball is now kicked. It's an up and under from the Glasgow Warriors. The chase is very good, but it's well dealt with by Craig Horn, who does recollect and regather for the Lions. And the Lions have secured the ball now. Nahamba has it just on the halfway line. Pass to Klabakanya. Massive unit. Makes a run in and gets taken down as well on the halfway line. Nahamba now pass to Gianni Lombard, who gets it through to Buerta, who's finding himself in a lot of space, but he's knocked it on in a tackle. And Glasgow Warriors now with possession inside the Lions half, just past the halfway line. Still going forward. Glasgow Warriors, making a big mistake there and capitalizing the Lions on now. It's Ruan Fenter running up the middle, and he gets taken down in the 10-meter line of the Glasgow Warriors half. Now spreading to the wing here, the Lions. They've got a little bit of space. They try to run it through. Not able to. Nahamba passes and recollects. It comes to Buerta, who runs himself. And they set up the phases now. Nahamba with the ball. He's knocked it backwards. He passes it back to Rams Matlane there. And it comes eventually to Ruan Fenter, who does get taken down. Maul apparently has been called by the ref. Don't quite know how that decision was made so early. And this ball is not going to come out, so it will be a Glasgow scrum. So Lions again with a little opportunity to attack here and not capitalizing. And so losing out to the Glasgow Warriors in that instance. Ruan Fenter not able to get back down. Oh, sorry, it's Ruan Skuman. It's Skuman actually who comes out of that. He was not able to get down on the floor. A couple of niggles here for the Glasgow Warriors. A couple of small injuries creeping in here. So maybe that could be something that Lions can try and capitalize on. Gangai, I think. I'm going to assume that's what it is. Saying, shake my head watching this hurts. Yeah, I mean, it is tough watching the Lions at the moment. It is very tough. We are obviously hoping and praying that they can get a bit more fortune going forward as we start going further into this game. Lions have played the 3 previous matches against Scottish opponents, beating Edinburgh twice, but losing 9-13 to Glasgow at Scotstoun in October 2021. So they have beaten two Scottish opponents, but this is the Scottish opponent they have lost to previously. So they'll be looking to correct that. Of course, this time playing at home, but they do find themselves 7 points down, 12 minutes into this game, with a scrum to come now for the Glasgow Warriors. And Klabakanya, they're looking at the ref and just making sure. I think he's getting him as onside. He is a huge player, that, and Klabakanya there. Crouch, bind, set. Scrum is underway. Glasgow Warriors fielding this ball, but the Lions are pushing forward ever so slightly, but not getting enough. The ball does come out. It's a big run from Glasgow Warriors. They're just running very hard at the line, and for some reason the Lions just not able to actually take them down early enough. They're already inside the Lions' half. They're spreading their hands very quickly. It's an advantage to the Glasgow Warriors as well. I think that's for offsides. I don't think anybody had managed to retreat quick enough. And the ball is still coming very quickly, but it's knocked on there from Glasgow Warriors. So they will come back for that offsides penalty. As I said, it was Vailanu who made the knock on and stops the Glasgow Warriors from proceeding. So yeah, we've got a penalty here to the Glasgow Warriors. They will be kicking for the line. So we will see how they do this time around. Last time they were in this position, they did score the try from this exact same line-up position. So I think they'll probably be backing their chances to get another one over the line. So yeah. Glasgow Warriors are the most efficient team in the opposition 2022, scoring a try or winning a penalty with 62% of their entries into the red zone. So not a stat that bodes well for the Lions, as this lineup is in the 22. So they do often score. It's a short line out. They try to play to Taluvani. Sorry, I messed up his name there. But anyway, we'll carry on. Glasgow Warriors trying something interesting there. Tried to play it back through to the number 8, the big Tongan. And Glasgow Warriors now still with possession, trying to bash their way through this Lions defensive line. Putting it in the 22. It's a long pass out to the wing. He's got a bit of space. He runs in. He darts to the line. He's so close, but it's held on by Yaku Creel. That's a fantastic steal by Yaku Creel. Literally almost on the line. Manages to get over and steals that ball. Lions fans not actually very impressed, because I think they're just worried the fact that the Glasgow Warriors are getting so much space and so easy. It's a great purchase, but great covering. I'm holding on there by Yaku Creel to stop Glasgow Warriors from scoring that try. Gianni Lombard with the kick for the line. It's just gone out just over the 22. So the Lions will still probably need to kick this. But a tackle eventually made by Edward van der Merwe on the line, and Yaku Creel gets over just as quickly to steal this ball. It's fantastic work by Yaku Creel. So Lions, maybe this is the little piece of play they needed to just to spark themselves into a bit of better action. In fact, the tackle was made by Andries Kutsia. So very well done there, just to eventually make that tackle and stop Glasgow Warriors from scoring. Lions do take the line out. Nahamba passed it through to the back line, and Lions are trying something stupid here. And Gianni Lombard has been tackled now inside his 22. Lions, I don't quite know what they were trying to do. They just seem very slow at the moment, the Lions, to react to anything. Try to bash it up now to get a phase ready for Nahamba to pass back to Quaid Horn, who kicks it forward. And it is not out. I don't think it's found its way out. It has not. It's fielded by Glasgow Warriors. They are on the halfway line now with a bit of space ahead of them and a lot of backline to use. They're passing through the line. Lions eventually choose to rush their defensive line up and make the tackle. But they're just over the lines. They're just inside the Lions' half right now, over the halfway line. Oh, huge hit! Huge hit! Massive hit. But problem is he has hurt himself in the process. I think he's popped his shoulder. Yeah, he has popped his shoulder. It's a huge hit there by Van Wyk. The Lions centre. Not Van Wyk, but Mani Ras. No, it's low. Sorry, I do apologise. I think I want to confirm. It's a massive hit, but he has just as much. Also, I think popped his shoulder there. I think it is low. He's popped his shoulder. No, not at all, actually. It's I'm completely wrong, but it's Ruan Fenter. Thought it was a centre, given how quickly he was moving. It's Ruan Fenter who's unfortunately seemingly done his shoulder. Made a massive hit in the Glasgow Warriors, and the Lions, as a result, did win a penalty because Glasgow Warriors tried to get up when he was tackled. Got up without releasing the ball, of course. But it was a great hit by Fenter. Real menace in that hit. It looked like it hurt, though, for Fenter as well. So I don't know if he's actually going to be able to continue in this game, which is exceptionally frustrating, I'm sure, for him, because, of course, he is playing in the memory of his late father, who passed away a couple of days ago, and for whom we held moments of silence for. And, of course, he would love to continue playing today, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. He immediately went screaming, basically, and around his shoulder. I do think he has popped his shoulder or broken something, maybe even a collarbone or something, I don't know. But he went into that tackle very, very hard. He is holding his shoulder here. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to continue or not, but he's looking a little bit better than he was earlier. Just watch this tackle again. It's a great tackle. Swinging arm. But it's actually not in the tackle that he injures himself. It's actually in the landing, it seems. But he seems to be okay now. He seems to have recovered. He might have just winded himself as well. That might have been why he stayed down so long. So still able to continue, which is great. And the Lions utilised this penalty for Gianni Lombard to have a crack at the posts to get some points on the board for this Lions team. Again, I'd love to know, guys, where are you watching from? Who you're supporting today? What are your thoughts on this game? The Six Nations game as well. Do let me know in the comments. I'll always read comments, and I'll always happily try and respond as best I can to all of your thoughts. So Gianni Lombard here with the kick to come. Just got 20 seconds left on this penalty to take it. It's not the easiest kick. It is pretty much straight in front of the posts, but it is almost on the halfway line. He steps up. And the strike looks good. And it's not good. It's wide, unfortunately. Wide of the post, so not straight on the centre. So Lions missing that opportunity to get some points on the board. And Glasgow Warriors have taken it quickly. Lions just not coping with the pace of the Glasgow Warriors at the moment. They're not keeping up. I think they just need to wake up to the fact that Glasgow Warriors are really trying to speed things up as quickly as they can. Penalty against the Glasgow Warriors for side entry for the clearing. So Lions again with an opportunity for points now. Much easier kick, of course. And I'm sure Frankie Horn will opt for Gianni Lombard's kick again. This time a much easier kick, as I say. Much closer to the post. Just about 5 meters outside the 22-meter line. So I think this could be points for Lions now. Unless they go for the line, which they do. Nahamba is kicking for the line. It is just about 7 meters out from the Glasgow try line. So huge moment this could be for the Lions. Could they get the points back on the board and put themselves in a much better position score-wise? We do see an early sub here for the Lions. We see a number 20 is on. And it goes into Ruan Skuman, who's now twisted into this maul. And this maul has been set, but I don't think Glasgow Warriors were in it legally. So this maul has collapsed, but the ref is not saying illegally. And he's saying it's a Glasgow ball, but I don't quite know how it's a Glasgow ball. The ball was available for Nahamba to use, and the ref goes and calls I don't quite understand how the ref can make that decision. It's a shocking decision, frankly. He has taken into the maul. The maul goes down, but the ball is very clearly available. It's Creel that's unfortunately had to come off. And Charlie has come on in his place. So it will be a scrum to the Glasgow Warriors, just about 5 meters out from their try line. But I think the Lions will be very upset about that, considering the fact the ball was definitely on their side and available for playing. So the ref not doing himself wonders there at all, and still maintains the same thing I've been saying about the URC that's been irritating me too much, that the reffing standards are really not good enough yet. Drastic improvements are needed in that department. Lions getting great pressure on that scrum, but eventually Glasgow Warriors do take the ball out to their massive Tongan, who Lions have really struggled to bring down. And now Humber going for the charge down. Almost managed to do it, but puts enough pressure on Glasgow Warriors. The kick is still all right. It's about their 10-meter line. So a good kick in the end and a good exit for Glasgow Warriors. And Lions still needing to come at them to try and capitalize and get some points for themselves. And of course, if you are looking for the Italy versus Ireland match, it is live also on our channel. Stephen is doing that live as well. So be sure to go and check that out and be sure to go and participate in that game. It is Ireland versus Italy, of course. Quite a big game, actually, in terms of points needed for Ireland. And Lions coming forward with it's Russ, but he's lost the ball in his bid to try and get through the line. And Glasgow Warriors now with the ball in their own, and they kick it forward into space. Lions having to track back. They eventually field it here. And Quaid Horn now running forward with the line. Doesn't look to be wanting to kick it. Indeed, he is going to run at the line. He's got Van der Merwe on his wing. And Van der Merwe trying to find his way through. And Van der Merwe does find his way through. He's found his way through. He passes to Nahamba, who's through. He's got nobody ahead of him. He will get the try. So Lions do get their first score of the day. Great play from the back line for the Lions. Fantastic try for the Lions. I'm not sure maybe they come back for a possible obstruction. It was a little bit of a slightly lazy run from, I think it was Horn, but we'll go check. But fantastic work from Edward van der Merwe, who beats the big forwards and the wings, and then comes forward again, manages to get the pass away as he gets taken down to Nahamba, who's supporting very well, and runs forward with no support from the Glasgow Warriors, so he will get that try. A great score for the Lions, and hopefully this is the start of a turnaround for them as well in this game. And we've got the conversion to come. They're not looking at anything, so it will stand. Johnny Lombard here with the kick to come. He did miss the earlier one, of course, but this is a much more simple kick, and hopefully he does slot this over so that you see the Lions with 7 points and Glasgow with 7 points as well. Ball is kicked, and it is through the middle, so 7 points all. Which is, of course, exactly what the Lions would be hoping for. So, yeah, back up to level pegging with about 18 minutes to go in this half. And can the Lions now try and utilize this score and to push them forward into getting a couple more tries as well? It's a huge game, this, for the Lions. If they can manage to get points here, it'd be great for them. Of course, hopefully starting a little bit of good form as they run into the end of the season, these last few fixtures, and maybe challenge for a quarterfinals place. So a big possible win here. Well, I said a win here would do them wonders, of course, but they do need a lot of results going their way as well over these next couple of weeks. Ball goes in from the Glasgow Warriors, but it's not very well done. They tried something interesting, but the Lions were very awake to it, and the Lions are far more awake to the Glasgow Warriors attack now. Seem to be fending it off a lot better. McLean there making the tackle on the wing. Glasgow Warriors not opting to go the blind side this time, now dragging it into the middle. Lions making the tackle through Ruben Skuman. Trying the blind side again, the Glasgow Warriors, but just very well defended there by the Lions. And the ball is spilt very kindly for PJ Buerta, but not able to actually get the ball there. The Glasgow Warriors still with the ball, but they spilt it, and it's now picked up here. It's Frankie Horn. He's running away. Oh my word, look at the pace of this man. He's going to score, you know. There he is too. What pace. Brutal strength in terms of running. Brilliant try. Big mistake from the Glasgow Warriors there. And they kicked it forward ever so much. And Horn picks it up. Frankie Horn picks it up and just runs through. Nobody's home for the Glasgow Warriors, of course. So he just runs all the way to the try line from the halfway line, and nobody could catch him. Look at that for power running. Just brute force in those legs. You cannot stop a man like that. Tackle was attempted on the line, but never reaching it. And yeah, Horn gets over. So Lions now suddenly find themselves leading this match, which of course is great for all Lions fans and South African fans, of course, in the URC. Lions now leading the Glasgow Warriors. And I was just saying before that try was scored how crucial it is for the Lions to try and get a win today. to if they have any chance of getting into the quarterfinal places and scoring that try. They're putting themselves into the lead, doing wonders, of course, for that possibility. Johnny Lombard here with the kick to come. He kicks at goal. He turns it straight through the center. And they added 14.27. Lions now lead the Glasgow Warriors. Glasgow Warriors are a little bit shaken at the moment, making some mistakes, and Lions capitalizing on those mistakes. So, yeah, very much going for the Lions at the moment. And the restart has been taken and well gathered by the Lions and kicked straight out by Johnny Lombard around about the halfway line. So good exit as well. It is very hot in this room. I do apologize if you see me like just airing it out, because my word, it's very hot in Joburg today. And yeah, just struggling a little bit with the heat. But nonetheless, this line out is now going to be taken on the halfway line for the Glasgow Warriors. They do collect it. It's a bit more of a stock standard line out. They've just chosen to, I think, slow it down maybe. I think the Lions finally managed to get a bit of purchase in terms of defending against what the Glasgow Warriors are trying to do in terms of rushing. Glasgow Warriors trying to spread their line, as the missed tackle by the Lions. Eventually, the recovering tackle is made, and the Lions now with the ball. McLean now gets it. He passes it through. It comes to Strarley, who's getting a high tackle around the neck here. I'm surprised it's not going to be an advantage. But poor officiating there. I definitely think that was a high tackle. But the Lions still with the ball. Comes to Chituka, who gets tackled very, very well. Double team tackle, and Nahamba now passes it out. It's coming to the back line. It's Horn who spots a gap, and he's through. He's through. He's got support on the inside. Support on the inside gets the ball, but he's taken down. He's going to have to try and pop this ball up. He pops it up. It comes to Johnny Lombard. He's trying to find his way around. He can't. He's running into players. He will get taken down. Nahamba now looking for this ball. Ready to take this ball out. It's been stolen. I don't know what Nahamba was doing. The ball was there available for him to take out. It was stolen so easily by the Glasgow Warriors. And they have kicked it now straight out. Edward van der Merwe collects, and he doesn't opt to pass it through. So the Lions not able to capitalize on that chance. But Horn doing so well to get through and find that gap, but not able to capitalize the Lions there. They could have got a third try very quickly, my word. So Burton now to put this ball in. The Lions still going forward now after that line out, still making moves forward. Lions certainly have found their feet finally in this half, and I think their tails are up, and I think they smell blood. Nahamba now fielding the ball, passing it through. He chooses to dart himself. He gets the way, but he was being tackled early there, surely, PJ Buerta. Yeah, advantage to the Lions as a result. An early tackle there. Nahamba tried to get it to him, but he was already being tackled, was Buerta. And the ball now does come to him. Klabakanya, who runs hard at the line, my word. No, and makes it a bit of ground. Then now Chituka with the ball, also running very hard, makes some good ground as well. Lions inside the Glasgow Warriors 22. Pass it through to Buerta, who does knock it on, unfortunately. It will be a penalty against the Glasgow Warriors for that early tackle though. So Lions really coming at the Glasgow Warriors now. And I think they need to try and capitalize as much as they can whilst they've got this dominance. And I think they might well opt for the line here. Nahamba has it in hand, and he will be kicking for the line. So can the Lions score a third try here? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, Lions certainly finally they've woken up. And the crowd is certainly behind them. Glasgow Warriors here just a little bit struggling now. Not able to keep up. I think they actually might have pushed themselves a bit too hard in the first half here. And I think they're a little bit tired now. And the Lions certainly capitalizing on that. So line out to come on the 5-meter line of the Glasgow Warriors. Lions do field the ball. They get it in. The maul is set. The maul is good. It's turning, however. I think it's collapsed illegally. It's advantage to the Lions. Nahamba takes the ball out. It comes to Johnny Lombard. He's trying to dance his way through. Not able to. He is taken down in the tackle. Nahamba now trying to get the ball. Another new advantage now. So advantages are being given. A lot of penalties being given away here in the red zone. So Glasgow Warriors got to be careful here. Nahamba now passes it to Klabakanya, who gets taken out by an interesting tackle. Now Chutuka with the ball. Runs hard, does Chutuka. Indeed, still running hard. And makes a little bit of ground there as well. Nahamba now fielding the ball. Passes it out to the centres. Oh, he's going to get through as well. Great try there. Great try there for the Lions. It is none other than Russ who gets the ball over for the third try of the day for the Lions. Lions certainly tails up and wagging, as it were. Very much in the driving seat suddenly. Yeah. Just watching here. Russ gets the ball. Manages to shake one tackle. Fends off another. And then it's just very poor, if I'm honest, as well. From Vailananu. I always get his name wrong. I can't do the whole Tongan thing. But Vailanu. That's the one. Vailanu. Who just barely makes an attempt to the tackle on Russ. And considering his size, you know, it would have been quite useful at that point. But nonetheless, Lions do get over for their third try of the day. Putting themselves very close to bonus point territory. And with a kick to come here for Johnny Lombard, if he can get this over, it's quite a difficult kick. But if he can get this over, of course, it makes it 2 tries for the Glasgow Warriors just to put themselves at level points. So, a big kick this is for Johnny Lombard as he eyes it up. Has missed one kick already today, unfortunately. Not the easiest kick, but has missed one. But he's got the other 2 for those earlier 2 tries. Can he get it for this try as well? He steps up. He kicks it. He turns. I don't know if he's happy with it though. No, not happy at all with it. He's completely missed it. So it will remain 19-7 to the Lions. But nonetheless, Lions finally waking up and getting the tries that they definitely deserve now. Certainly the most dominant team on this pitch at the moment. So can they continue this form? Can they try and get another try before half-time? We will see. The ball is kicked back into the Lions 22. It is fielded by Frankie Horn, who misses the initial tackle and runs through and is eventually taken out just before his 22. Nahamba fielding this ball now and just organising the defence. Passes it back to Quaid Horn, who kicks it forward. Looks to be a good kick as well. It is a very good kick by Quaid Horn. So good exit for the Lions there. Almost up to the halfway. And he is also having a storming game, is Horn, the fullback. So both Horns actually really standing out so far for me. 2 best players on the pitch at the moment. Nahamba also a valuable mention there. So we'll see if this can continue and if the Lions can get another try, as I say. And what do you guys make of this Lions turnaround in this half already? I mean, my word. Really come back into it. Glasgow Warriors do take the line out and they pass it forward. It looked like a forward pass. There was a great run. They're going to score another try here unless he gets taken out. It's the wrong player to be running on the line. And it's saving tackle now. Lions with the ball. They can counter-attack here through Chituka, who's running up the middle. He does get taken down, but presents the ball backwards. Nahamba now trying to... He can't come through there, and it's a penalty against the Lions. And he's really messing up right now. I think he's actually probably been the main reason why the Glasgow Warriors are suddenly finding themselves behind. Is Vailanu, who is really all over the place right now. He's just doing stupid things disciplinary-wise. And gives away another penalty there. Very obvious penalty. Just puts his hands right in the middle of the ruck and says, you know what, I'm just going to have that ball. Doesn't matter the fact that there are players there defending it. I'm just going to put my hands around and just go, yeah, I'll take that ball. Thank you very much. So, Lions managed to stop what was very easy for the Glasgow Warriors to get through. Almost onto the line. A try-saving tackle there made by Johnny Lombard. Then Horn gets over, turns it over and passes it straight to Chituka's hands, who then runs up and eventually wins the penalty for the Lions. So, as I say, Lions really doing well here just to stop the Glasgow Warriors and keep adding pressure and piling pressure onto them. And indeed, it's a yellow card as well. I didn't even notice that. I think that's what repeated offences say, because his discipline has been shocking. But Vailanu gets a yellow card for his cynical acts there. He's done about 3 penalties in a row, all of them very, very poor. And he does get a yellow card now. I think it's an accumulations penalty card as well. And so now it's 14 men to the Glasgow Warriors, and it's advantage to the Lions now for tap in the line out. And Lions running through here. Johnny Lombard tries to come through. Nahamba now passing through to Makane. And pulled back eventually. The ref is going to say it's another penalty against the Lions. against the Glasgow Warriors, sorry. And the Lions will get another penalty. Glasgow Warriors very shaken right now. And they don't quite know what to do. There's 5 minutes left of this half. And we've got a couple of penalty options here that the Lions have been presented by the ref. And the Lions will opt for the one close to the near touchline so they can kick for the line and hopefully get a 4th try in this half. What a turnaround from the first opening 15-20 minutes, where they were really the second best team. But since then, they have been all over Glasgow Warriors, and they are really struggling now, the Warriors, to deal with this Lions side, who definitely, as I say, are smelling blood. And I think they can try and get another try here just before half time. It's a great kick by Nahamba, right up to the 5-meter line. And Vailanu is now watching on and shaking his head, really costing his team at the moment. Wasn't quite as far as I thought it was, about 10 meters out from the line for the Lions. They've not managed to get this maul working as of yet, but maybe it will come this time round. Ball comes in, and it fields back to Charlie, who's got so much space ahead of him, but he doesn't use it. Eventually finds the centre, who's almost on the try line there. Nahamba passes it back through to Fenter. Fenter's so close to the line. Oh, what he would give to score a try today. And Klabakanya is fielding this ball. Oh, I think he's going to go for the line. He's running at it. It darts for it. Doesn't get that. It's advantage to the Lions. It's offsides by the Glasgow Warriors. Yet another penalty inside the red zone. Lions not able to pass it through. Nahamba now fielding out to Johnny Lombard, who passes it out to the wing. It's Edward van der Merwe who puts it over for the 4th try of the half for the Lions. Lions all over Glasgow Warriors at the moment. They just cannot stop them. And of course, with a yellow card, you're not going to stop a try out wide. Edward van der Merwe goes over for 11th career try for the Lions in the URC, I think it is at least. And yeah, very easy try in the end. Of course, Glasgow Warriors not really going to be able to defend out wide with only 14 men. And Lions knowing that. Oh my word! He almost knocks the ball on, by the way. We might actually have to have a look at this. I think he manages to just recover. But he actually almost knocks it on, just by the way. They're going to have another look at this, I'm sure. Woo! That's a bit risky there from Edward van der Merwe. I don't quite know how he almost knocked it on. But I don't even think they are going to check it. And Johnny Lombard's going to have to rush this conversion a little bit because he's only got 20 seconds left. And the cone was not anywhere near him. So he's literally speeding up his whole process here, which means that I don't think he's going to get himself in the groove to get this kick over. So I'm not sure he's going to get this kick over. He does take it quickly. He's watching it. He's watching it. He's watching it. No, and it does go wide, as I say. Never able to set himself. Don't quite know what happened there. It took forever to take that kick. I don't think it was his fault, though. I think the cone took forever to get to him, and he just had to take that ball quickly. He didn't know how much time was left. And he actually had a little bit more time than he might have thought he did, but he did have to rush it. And my word, look at that. Marcus Rashford influencing the world of sport. Edward van der Merwe as he gets over. Just by, oh my word, out of nowhere. What on earth happened there? Try to the Glasgow Warriors. Complete capitulation at the back for the Lions. I don't quite know what happened there. I'm actually going to explain. I think the ball was missed by the initial pod from the Lions going up for the ball from the restart. It was missed, and then it was going almost on the line. I think the Lions didn't opt to take it because it was going to go out. And then just kept in by the Glasgow Warriors. Just kicked in right on the line. And then, yeah, basically just kept in and then just passed to his winger. And he goes straight over. As easy as that. My word. Shocking from the Lions. Absolutely shocking. Gifting the Glasgow Warriors an easy try. They were looking to go into half-time. 24 points up to 7. And now they're going to be 24-14 if they're lucky. Or 24-12 if they're lucky, but the kick to come, and it's a very easy kick, so they should get it over. Glasgow Warriors utilising as much time as possible, of course, for this kick, as they do have a yellow card. So poor from the Lions to end the half that way, but nonetheless, they did very well to come back into that half, having gone 7 points down and looking very poor for a little bit, but managed to regain a bit of form and put themselves very deservedly in the lead so far as we're coming up to half-time. Just 30 seconds off of it now. With the kick to come from Thompson. Very young man is Thompson, of course. I think he's younger than me, which tells you something. Scary. And the kick is made. It's Very easy. Goes over 24 points to 14. Glasgow with a yellow card still. So can the Lions, or will the Lions even opt to try and keep this ball in, or will they just try to get to half-time now? We will see now. The Lions to restart this game. And the Lions eventually arriving at the halfway line for John Lombard's restart. He waits for his team, picks the ball up, and they are chasing this ball here. And they'll be very interested to see what Glasgow Warriors. Oh, they've knocked it on! They've knocked it on! But I think the line, I think the hooter had gone before. Ref saying no because it's actually a penalty. It's a good point. It is a penalty. Ref is very, very correct. It's an offside penalty. Accidental offside. It was knocked on and then collected by his own player in front of him. So it is a knock-on penalty or accidental knock-on. And Lions stupidly, if I'm quite frank, opting to go for posts rather than go for the line. Glasgow Warriors, of course, only got 14 men, missing their massive number 8, of course, who is huge in a maul scenario, and Lions decide to go for the posts. Are they stupid? What are they doing? No, 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 no. I would certainly go for the line, opt for the maul it over, or at least pass it through the line, because they're going to be 14 men down. Pass it out wide. It's going to be an easy score. 7 points versus 3. Nonetheless, they opt for the kick. He gets the kick over. They go into half-time. 27 points up to Glasgow's 14. Glasgow still will have to restart the second half with a yellow card. But a great fight back from the Lions there to put themselves firmly in the lead. And can they continue this form in the second half? We will find out, of course. But I will leave you temporarily just for a break. And I will, of course, be back for the second half. So please do not go anywhere and do ask questions, etc. I will be there for the second half. Goodbye.
I found a picture we took many years ago. When I said to you we would never grow old. Messages I've saved that I never send, 'cause I don't know you, but I used to back then. I remember that I was drunk out my mind when we kissed for the first time. In the back of your car we passed out counting stars. Promised all these years we'd pack our things and disappear. I never thought I would see you here after all this time. Found yourself a way out of this small town. Got a place at school you didn't hang around. Every day you're far away, these streets don't feel the same. Everywhere is painted with your name. I remember that I was drunk out my mind when we kissed for the first time. In the back of your car we passed out counting stars. Promised all these years we'd pack our things and disappear. I never thought I would see you here after all this time. I remember that I was drunk out my mind when we kissed for the first time. In the back of your car we passed out counting stars. Promised all these years we'd pack our things and disappear. I never thought I would see you here. Try to replace you with somebody out there. If I didn't chase you, would you even care? And if I lost my mind, would you come around? I will keep you safe and sound after all this time. just I wish I could carry the weight all on my back. Colors now faded. There's only so much hope in that. I can't do what I'd rather lose than lose you. Do what you gotta do, what you gotta do to be you again. Do what you gotta do, what you gotta do to put your heart to rest. I'll keep waiting as long as it takes. Do what you gotta do, what you gotta do to be you again.
Back to the sound. Back to the sound.
I just wanna run away. Well, maybe I'm done, maybe I've lost. Still putting up a fight because I love my mom, I love my family. When I was young, they would all look after me. I don't know why, but I feel like a burden. I spent my life overthinking my purpose. Can't really cry, I'm so used to the hurt. Trauma creeps up at me at the wrong moment. Oh, I just wanna numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. Numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. A broken glass while I'm thinking in my head. I mind my own, I don't even break a sweat. Oh, matters is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. Untold stories, they were left behind. Silent breeze, I got nothing on my mind. This madness is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. Rise up from the ashes, wings on my back, stay lit like a matchstick. We ain't coming back, I swear. Just let go and see what happens. Gotta let go to see the magic happen. They got us a quick change, so we like them in phase. I just bought a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. Clouds, so I can't see the ground. So I ain't coming down. So no, I ain't ever coming down. Rise up from the ashes, wings on my back, stay lit like a matchstick. We ain't coming back, I swear. Just let go and see what happens. Gotta Let go to see the magic happen. They got us a quick change, so we like them in phase. I just bought a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. The zero gravity, they got us a quick change, so we like them in phase. I just bought a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. So I'm up above the clouds. So I can't see the ground. So I ain't coming down. So no, I ain't ever coming down. I can feel how I'm changing. I don't know if I'll ever go back. All the ways that you make me, build me up on the things I lack. I don't ever wanna lose you now. 'Cause I think I'll make it here now. 'Cause it's you and only you. 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 I don't know where the time goes, just flies when I hold you close. In my arms with your eyes closed, for the first time I've got hope. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I think I'll make it here now. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I don't think I'll make.
Alright, sorry, I'm back. Oh dear, shocking. Sorry, you can have it out of me in the comments if you wish. We are in the second half. I do apologize for that. Nonetheless, can Glasgow come back? That is what Cameron has asked. Well, all depends on how they start the second half. And I think Lions, considering they've got possession right now inside Glasgow's half, unlikely. Because if the Lions can score an early try, I think that pretty much sets the game in stone. It'll be very difficult for Glasgow to come back to that. It'll be 3, if not 4 scores to come back. I think it'll be 4 scores. Lions coming here on the wing, trying to come through. Russ, who's not able to get through. Just on the 22-meter line, the Lions now. But the pass through to Bursa from Chituka. Chituka now covering. And now Klabakanya now takes it up. And now Humber gets taken out as he's trying to get the ball there, but the refs just play on. Now the pass to Skuman. Skuman finds it to Horn. Horn passes it to other Horn, who's unfortunately lost the ball out. It will be a line out to the Glasgow Warriors. So 44 minutes into the second half, or at least 45-ish minutes into the second half. And we see Lions. They did have an early attack here, opportunity to score. Not able to capitalize, and Glasgow obviously do have their yellow card now. Back on the field. I always get his name wrong. I'll get it right eventually. Vailanu is back onto the field. So Glasgow are back up to a full contingent. So it will be a little bit better for them to get going now in this second half. Having to make a blood replacement here though. Dupree is on for Miller. South African, of course, Dupree. Quite a few replacements here for the Glasgow Warriors. Fraser is also on for Matthews in the hooker position. And is immediately back into the thing as he has to put a ball into the line out. It does find his man, so it does the work well there. Vailanu or Vaitanu or whatever his name is, the Tongan, that one, which I always mess up his name, gets the ball and this is taken down. Lions, unfortunately, giving away a penalty there. Very soft penalty to give away. Just scooping the ball back in the tackle. Apparently, that's what Charlie was accused of doing. He is the one penalised. Hands in the ruck. So it will be a penalty to Glasgow, and then we'll kick for the line and try and get as far into the Lions' half as possible. The ball has gone out just about the Lions' 10-metre line. So it will be advantage to Glasgow in terms of possession. And the Lions will have to defend. Yet another line-out. Been lots of line-outs for the Glasgow Warriors today. And yet another one goes in and is captured very well. And they've set up the Maul. Maul not really moving anywhere yet. I think they're going to dart out. They always do. In about 3, 2, 1. And he does indeed use it. He passes through to the back line. Backline trying to move interestingly. Oh, almost worked, but very well seen. Funny enough by Buerta, who's now hands on the ground. Gives away a penalty as he tries to go for that ball. Now, PJ Buerta giving away a penalty. Stock standard, as James says. Oh, look, another PJ Buerta penalty. Indeed, yeah, he does love giving away a lot of penalties. Discipline is not a big thing for him. Nonetheless, Lions are going to have to defend some more. And Glasgow do kick for the line again. And this is a good kick. It's about 10 metres out from the Lions' half. Lions try. Thompson not happy about the sideline ref. Keep coming in. He thinks it was closer. Nonetheless, Lions going to have to defend yet again on their own 22-metre line, or just inside their own 22 at least. And we'll have to try and prevent Glasgow from scoring a try. If Glasgow score a try here, they are right on the tails of the Lions. So quite crucial that the Lions do defend this. But of course, Glasgow Warriors, the most successful team in the dead zone. They do mess it up though. It's messed up in the line out. The Lions challenge for it nicely. And now they're going to counter-attack nicely as well. It's Russ with the ball. He's got Runs McClain there on the outside. He decides to take the pace. He tries to go for the gap. Is taken down, unfortunately. Quaid Horn was not able to get the ball. But Nahamba takes it out. He passed to Stride. He was running at pace. Nahamba there now to gather. And it's well played by the Lions. Chizuka now taking the ball up himself. He's well supported as well. And Klabakanya then comes in. The ball was being played around within the rack. You can't play with that. That's going to be interesting there. The Lions still got the ball. It's bouncing all around. Eventually comes the Lions again. Tries to go for the line there. And they're just on the 10-metre line. Now comes away to JP Smith, who does get taken down, but I think was lost in the tackle. It was lost in the tackle. Possession was given back to Glasgow Warriors. Glasgow Warriors now with the ball in hand. Got a little bit of space to try and play with. Russ makes a tackle, but not on the ball. And now there's a big space opening, but well tackled. Eventually closing that gap by the Lions. Lions still struggling here. It's all broken play. Lions coming to make a big tackle here. There's advantage to the Glasgow. I don't know what for. I really don't know what the advantage is for, because it cannot be offsides as there's been no tackles have been made as of yet. Glasgow now passing it through to the line. Still trying to charge. It's lots of broken play still. Thompson darts. Thompson finds a gap. Thompson tries to beat the last defender. Not able to. Quaid Horn does make the tackle, but then has to make another tackle as soon as the ball is picked up. And the tackle is now made again from the back line. Penalty for what? For what, ref? Lions aren't really arguing it, so clearly it was. But Edward van der Merwe gets a yellow card for a cynical penalty right on the line for the Lions. So really not a good start for Lions in the second half. I don't quite know why this penalty's been given, if I'm honest. I just want to see, maybe he was playing the ball on the ground, I think it was. Hands in the ruck, perhaps. Edward van der Merwe tries to make the tackle. The tackle's made. And then he gets up. Oh, he tries to take the ball out. Indeed, yeah. Very cynical from Edward van der Merwe. Is very much a yellow card. So, Lions down to 14 men. Very stupid, if I'm frank. I always think rather concede the try than give away the yellow card. I never understand the logic of sacrificing yourself. It always results in further points. Almost always. So, Yeah, Lions down to 14 men, just as Glasgow Warriors were. And can they survive? Edward van der Merwe there, the one who's getting the yellow card and is having to sit on the sidelines now. So Glasgow Warriors here going to opt to kick for the line, or maybe they might even tap. But there's just a couple of injuries they're going to have to deal with first. Ball is kicked out on the line. It'll be a 5-meter line out to the Glasgow Warriors. And they have got a lot of purchase from their lineouts today, so this might well result in a try as well. So Lions got to do a lot to defend here. They did lose the previous lineout, and they've lost it again, Glasgow Warriors. Lions doing very well to get that ball back, and Rabswat Qade there manages to get the ball in possession and kicks it just as quickly before he gets taken out. Ball's gone all the way back. Glasgow Warriors in their own half having to recollect, now running back at the Lions, who are struggling to get there in their numbers, eventually making the tackle around about midfield on the 10-meter line. Lions needing to shift their numbers, of course. They're man down in defense, so they're going to need to try and get out wide as quickly as possible and need to cover around the back. Oh, it's a shocking ball, and Nahamba intercepts it, but I think he was got a high tackle around the neck. Ref has not said anything, but they're going to continue. But Nahamba doing very well there to see. It's a poor pass nonetheless, but does manage to make the intercept, which is so crucial for the Lions, who now have possession of it in... No ways, ref! Ref, no ways! Absolutely shocking reffing yet again. Ball is taken illegally out of the Lions' ruck, and the ref just says play on. Eventually gets the call back. The Lions do manage to win the ball themselves. It's Frankie Horn, captain, making the crucial turnover penalty. But I mean justice, because that was an absolutely abysmal call from the ref. So thank goodness that was made. He gets over, he misses the ball, and the ball pops out, and then just said apparently no, just play on. Shocking call really from the ref. Nonetheless, Frankie Horn gets back and makes a legitimate steal. And so the Lions do get the penalty. So justice in the end. Nahamba having to kick this ball as far from the line as possible. He is quite a good kicker at the line, Nahamba. And indeed, a very good kick there. Just about almost 10 meters out from the Glasgow Warriors try line. So can the Lions try and capitalize here, even with the yellow card? If they just keep possession of the ball in this area of the field, they will hopefully make that yellow card less painful to them. Of course, going to make it difficult as though for the attacking team here, the Lions, to get over without that man, that being Edward van der Merwe. But nonetheless, Lions do have an attacking line out inside the 22, and objective 1 is to win the line out thrown in from PJ Buerta. Can we win this line out? They do. It's not challenged. It's brought down. Stradi takes it out straight away. They tried something interesting. It didn't really work. Stradi taking it in himself. Nahamba now passes to Chituka, who tries to run himself, pumping those legs, still pumping those legs, Chituka, and gets very far over, almost on the line. Now Jeremy Lombard trying to organize. He plays it through to Russ, who tries to run himself, but not able to. It's advantage to the Lions. I think it was offsides. Nahamba now looking for support. Chituka, the one there. He passes it back to Nahamba, who throws it back to Stradi, who spills it. It's a knock-on. It's going to come back for the penalty against Glasgow Warriors. And not allowed to take it quickly, apparently, Nahamba, says the ref. Don't quite know why. But in the red zone, yet again, the Glasgow Warriors giving away a penalty. So probably will have to try and talk about discipline with the Glasgow Warriors. Lions now, I think they're opting to tap and go. They are going to tap and go with this penalty. And Klabakanya's over it. He's got Strali and Peter, and he runs for the line. He's almost over. So close to the line, and Klabakanyi. He passes it back now. Nahamba passes back to some forward supporting him. The ball is over the line. It's a try. Lions have scored the try. Fantastic try there for the Lions. Scored by, and they are certainly giving him the love, because he definitely deserves the love today. It's Ruan Fenter. Oh my word, he's in tears. He's losing his mind. Shame, the poor kid. Of course, holding a moment of silence for him at the beginning of this game. His father passed away very sadly on Thursday. He gets over, though. He opted to play in this game. He didn't opt to take family leave. He played in this game, and as a result, he has scored that try, which is so special, basically making me tear up here as well. But Ruan Fenter there absolutely bawling his eyes out after scoring that try, and the teammates certainly showing him all the love. And he has played very, very well today and gets a try deservedly for his late father. Yeah, very, very emotional. Very, very emotional thing. And I'm very surprised he's actually playing this game. Nonetheless, certainly doing his late father proud. Johnny Lombard with the kick. It is off the upright. Oh, my word. It comes back off the posts. And Ruan Fenter has managed to regather himself. And, yeah, as James says, the feels very much so. This is one of the most, I think this is something to certainly clip. That people should certainly look at on Twitter, and this will probably go around the sports media place. But you just see Ruan Fenter there scoring a try for his late father, and absolutely emotionally uncontrolled. He just couldn't contain the tears as he scores that try. Lions do get that restart all done, and kicks it out. Gianni Lombard. It was a very, very deep restart by Glasgow Warriors, and Gianni Lombard does kick it forward. And gets a half-decent kick, but it's not a brilliant kick. It's quite a good attacking opportunity for Glasgow Warriors. You still have that 15-man advantage versus the Lions, only 14 men. So, can the Lions still hold on and hopefully not concede any points as a result of this yellow card? The kick, the line-out is about halfway between the 10-meter line and the 22. We will see if the Lions can defend it. The previous two line-outs, they did lose Glasgow Warriors, but they have won this one and they set up the more. But the Lions defending it very, very well, holding him in and doing very well to stop this more. Surely they need to use it, ref. He says told to use it now, and he's opting not to use it. Eventually flings the ball out the back, and the Lions do get forward to defend. It's poorly done by Glasgow Warriors, but there's a huge gap that the Glasgow Warriors have found. They're trying to run through, the Lions trying to cover, not making the tackles, eventually bringing him down about 10 meters out from the Lions try line. It's offsides by offsides there, unfortunately, by JP Smith. He was trying to retreat, and the ball did knock out of the ruck. And yeah, he hadn't retreated far enough yet, so he did pick up that ball. And I think Glasgow Warriors are, I don't know what they've opted for here, but yeah, unfortunate scrum there. JP Smith was trying to come back onto an onside position. The ball spilled out of the ruck and decided to pick it up. He was in a very offside position though. They've opted for the scrum here, Glasgow, which is, of course, a very intelligent decision, as if there are any young rugby fans watching, and you do happen to still play rugby, something to take away is that if the opposition do have a yellow card, it's always very clever to have a scrum, especially when the penalty's in the middle of the field, because there's so much space on either side, and you can very easily overload the defence should you win that scrum, of course, as they are man down in defence and all of the forwards are involved in the scrum, so even more space to find. Big scrum here coming from the Lions, but not able to do anything. Comes out from the Glasgow Warriors, but it's a huge hit from the Lions, and Glasgow Warriors not able to capitalise on that advantage as of yet, and the attempted intercept was not made, but the ball has come back now to the Glasgow Warriors. They still have the ball in hand. It's a penalty advantage, I think, to the Glasgow Warriors. I don't know if it's a penalty advantage or a knock-on advantage. I think it was a legitimate attempt at an intercept, and the ball comes eventually. They've got the space in the wing, and Thompson goes over in the corner. Glasgow Warriors get their third try of the day, and I think a yellow card's been shown, unless I'm mistaken. But Tom, I don't know if you say Thompson. Tom Jordan is what I meant. Has gone over for that third try for Glasgow Warriors to make it a closer game again. Craig Horn with the yellow card. I did think so. I thought I saw a yellow card. But, I mean, it's a bit of a harsh one, if I'm honest. It was a legitimate attempt. And he did almost catch it. Nonetheless, it is a penalty. And now the Lions have got 2 yellow cards behind their name as Glasgow Warriors score that try. So they've got to try and get the previous yellow card back in the field, that being of Edward van der Merwe. So discipline being a bit of a problem in the second half. So can the Lions survive the attack now, the impending attack from the Glasgow Warriors, as they're down to 13 men. So very crucial for the Lions to try and get possession of the ball early on after this restart. Tom Jordan now with the kick to come. He's got 2 kicks from 2. Can he get a third one over? This will put the Glasgow Warriors just 11 points behind the Lions, so within 2 scores. Otherwise, it will be 13 points. Again, still 2 scores a bit more difficult. The kick is missed off the post, comes off the post. So it'll remain 32 points to 19. Can the Lions hold on? That is the big question. The Lions going to have to restart now with 13 men only. Craig Horn and Edward van der Merwe with yellow cards. So very, very difficult now for the Lions to try and defend this Glasgow attack should they get the ball. So very, very crucial for the Lions to try and get possession if they can. And as I say, if you are just joining us now and you're just interested to know what's happened, the Lions scored a 4th try about 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. And was scored by Ruan, which is very special, of course, because unfortunately for Ruan, very, very sad indeed. His father passed away on Thursday, and he opted to play today rather than not. Meanwhile, sorry, I have to come back to this. I'll come back to that now. The Lions doing very well to defend what was almost an opportunity for the Glasgow Warriors to get through, but they have managed to get the ball back. So I'll go back to that to say Ruan gets over the line, opted to play today, even though his father passed away just on Thursday. And they did hold a moment of silence for his passing, and Ruan Venter scores the try today, and in tears, absolutely beside himself, but still playing a mammoth game. He just makes the tackle there. Glasgow Warriors coming forward now with the ball, are about on the halfway line, and Lions just trying to hold on here. They've managed to get 1 yellow card back, so they're back up to 14 men, but there's so much space in this broken play for Glasgow Warriors. Lions just trying to set up a defensive line, and they choose to go the blind side to Glasgow Warriors. Lions trying to make the tackles, not making them all, and the ball is spilt, and it'll be a penalty to the Glasgow Warriors still, I think. No advantage. I think it's for offsides. Yeah, it is indeed offsides against the Lions. So Lions really, really going to have to try and hold on here, because they're giving away a lot of penalties as a result of trying to stop this broken play. And they're in danger of getting yet another yellow card, which would really not be good for them to have 3 yellow cards in succession. They are back up to 14 men at least. Just a couple of injuries here on the 60th minute. They're just going to take a water break, I think, alongside these injuries as well, whilst that's all happening. So we will see what happens after this. But we've got 20 minutes left. Can Glasgow come back? That is the big question. So yeah, it's just still waiting for these injuries to get out of the way before we'll continue. There'll be a penalty to the Glasgow Warriors. There's the fly half, Tom Jordan, who's down, but he's back up onto his feet now. So we will wait for this restart to happen. Indeed, the ref has blown his whistle. Decision has been made by the Glasgow Warriors. They're going to go for the line, and they should kick it out onto the 5-meter line. And the Lions will need to do some more defending yet again. So Tom Jordan picks up the ball, kicks for the line, does go out about the 5-meter. So can the Lions hold on here in this line out here? Previous couple of line outs that the Glasgow Warriors have had on the Lions line, they've lost. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do it again. Can the Lions try and create a problem in the line out? And the try is scored. I was just very confused to what happened there, because I do actually think it was slightly illegal what Glasgow Warriors did. I'm not sure if the ball carrier actually had the ball when he was hit in the back. I think he'd already shifted the ball backwards. Nonetheless, they do score the try in the corner. Very easily mauled over It is hit and then eventually passed back. Yeah, it is. It is well done by the Glasgow Warriors. Quite clever play. So they do get over for that try. So it's 24 points to 32 in favour of the Lions still. But with the kick to come, Lions really struggling with these yellow cards now. As I say, I never understand the concept of giving away yellow cards in those sort of situations, like doing something stupid in terms of discipline. I can understand if you made a small mistake, but like sometimes they legitimately do it. And it all starts with Edward van der Merwe making a very, very obvious cynical maneuver, which gets him a yellow card, and that starts this whole debacle with regards to the Lions being completely swamped by the Glasgow team. Because it's very difficult, of course, to try and defend with 14 men, let alone 13. And with 13 men, let alone 14, of course, because they did have 2 yellow cards at the same time at one stage. But they are only back up to 14 still. The kick, luckily, very, very widely missed by Tom Jordan. So Lions still 32 points to 24. So Glasgow will still have to score twice in order to go ahead of this game. So big kick to have missed for the Glasgow Warriors. Lions very sheepish to get back to the halfway line. Obviously trying to waste as much time as possible for that sin bin, which Craig Horn is now warming up. Of course, he should be back in a couple of minutes as well to get themselves back up to a full complement. But Gianni Lombard, now with the ball in hand, will get this game restarted again after that try to the Glasgow Warriors. And the ball is a very deep restart. It's a very good kick, actually. And the chase is also quite good from Edward van der Merwe. So they bring back the ball still well inside the Glasgow 22. Not a very easy place to kick from. And it should hopefully result in a defensive kick. It does come from the Glasgow Warriors. It's actually more of an up and under. And it's a shocking up and under, for honest. And it's very well taken by Edward van der Merwe in terms of trying to get the tackle. Still possession in hands of the Glasgow Warriors. Warriors trying to get out of their own 22, but they've now come out, so they can't kick it straight out. So will be another up and under attempt. This time a much better kick. Will the chase be as good? Ball is out. It will be a lot. It has kicked out in the full. So Joan Lombard does make a point to the ref and says it goes out on the full. So they have to go back all the way inside the Glasgow 22. So big win there for the Lions to have forced that error upon the Glasgow Warriors. So 65 minutes have gone in this game. And Lions now can capitalize with a line out just inside the Glasgow 22. And Craig Horn should be coming on in the next minute or so. Ruben Skuman calls for the ball, comes to the back, it's gone over, comes to Stride, goes to Edward van der Merwe, he's going to go through the middle. He almost got through. It was a great little line out move from the Lions. Very, 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 very clever. Still, they're on the attack here, the Lions. Comes to Russ, who's almost on the line. Still going forward with Chatuka, who gets taken out again on the line. It's advantage to the Lions for offsides. Comes now to Skuman. Can the Lions get over now? They're trying to dart again. It's another advantage to the Lions. Nahamba looking for this ball, waiting for this ball to come out. Chatuka takes it through. He's pushed over the line. He's not able to get the ball down. He shifts the ball back. Nahamba now with the ball. Will he be able to get darted down quick enough? He passes it through. Still not able to get over the Lions. Right on the line. Can they finally get this ball over? Attempting to turn it over. The Glasgow Warriors are no advantage. They'll come back for the penalty. But I do have to query as to why they're not showing yellow cards to Glasgow Warriors. Multiple times in the red zone they have been penalised. And they've not got a penalty. They've not got a yellow card for it. So I do have to query this for the ref as to why there's no yellow card being shown to the Glasgow Warriors as of yet. Surely this is last warning. Has to be final warning, surely. Might actually be well favoured for the Lions to try and force a yellow card out of Glasgow Warriors before scoring this try. And I know that sounds very stupid, of course. You try and go for the try and whatever else happens, happens. But if they can somehow force a yellow card for an offsides or something from this Glasgow Warriors team, it will result hopefully in a yellow card, which means the next 10 minutes, which are basically the last 10 minutes of the game, Glasgow Warriors will only be playing with 14 men, which is of course a huge thing for them to try and ensure they can defend this lead they have, the Lions, and then try and score a try as well to firmly put this game to bed. So, as I say, if the Lions were trying to be very clever and very sneaky, I'd try and force a yellow card out of the Glasgow Warriors here. They are in the red zone. They've got a penalty literally on the 5-meter line, almost in front of the posts. I wouldn't go for the kick. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. It would still make it a 2-score game, which it currently is. So they will try and go for something that gets them the try. As for what they go for will be interesting. Maybe they go for the tap. They went for the tap earlier. Maybe they go for a scrum. The scrums have been all right so far. Nobody's really got too much dominance, so each team winning their own scrums. Or do they go for the line out, which they had a very clever little line out move that almost worked perfectly from Edward van der Merwe coming through the line. Not able to score it though. I think we've got a TMO review here coming. We've got some advice coming from the TMO about possible dangerous play, I think it is. We'll just listen in quickly. Potential foul play, as I say, being called. We'll see whether or not there is. I don't know who it's by. It's a dangerous clean out. I don't see where this dangerous clean out is. I think it's possibly from the Lions. I don't know who it is. They're trying to have a look at. So it's perfectly legal here. And then dives in, does Dreyer, but it doesn't connect with anybody, I don't think. So Dreyer does come a little bit from the side, I think. That might be the problem. He doesn't connect with the head. It's high, but he connects. His head is not taken out, I don't believe. I do think this is going to be a penalty to the Glasgow Warriors, which means it's very poor from Dreyer, because there's absolutely no need whatsoever to do this. So it's going to be a yellow card to Dreyer and a reversal penalty. It will be a penalty to the Glasgow Warriors and a yellow card to Dreyer after that idiotic, if I'm honest, maneuver. I don't know what he's thinking there. I think TMO is actually suggesting a red card because the ref has explained what he's seen and everything he agrees with except for the mitigation. So he's opting for a red card, says the TMO. Ref on the field is saying more yellow card. I think they're going with a yellow card. It is a yellow card. So Lions... no, not a yellow card. It's a red card. Straight red. Idiotic challenge from Dreyer there. I'm not sure it is a red card challenge, if I'm honest. But a very, very, very stupid piece of play. Absolutely no need for it whatsoever. Rush of blood to the head and just stupidity beyond words from Dreyer there. Getting that red card. Absolutely idiotic behaviour. But it's a shocking, shocking kick from Glasgow Warriors. They gift it straight to the Lions, who've now got possession inside Glasgow's half. So hopefully they can make do with this. Of course, Lions now playing with 13 men currently. They're still waiting on Craig Horn to come back, who's got a yellow card. And Dreyer now with a red card. So Lions will be down to 14 men for the rest of this game at a minimum. But they do have possession now in the Humber with the ball. Pass it out to Strali, who comes forward. Lions need to hold on to possession now. Absolutely crucial they hold on to possession. And they just need to build these phases. They need to play some good Bulls rugby here. Lions just building it up. Playing very slow. Keeping it close to the chest. Comes to Johnny Lombard, who's now playing to the line. Comes to Russ, who runs at the line hard. He makes good ground, does Russ. And it's well supported by his fellow centre. Nahamba now passes it to Chituka. Chituka trying to find some space. Lions doing very well to defend this. It's offsides there from Glasgow, but they're not given the penalty against it. Russ now with the ball again. Tries to charge the line. McClane there is supporting him. And, yeah, Lions just doing very well to hold on to this ball right now. Nahamba now fielding the ball. Pass it out. It was almost a poor tackle, poor pass, but Frankie Horn does very well to pick it up and then just get past the player there. Nahamba now passing the ball inside the 22. Again, another poor pass from Nahamba. He needs to be careful here. Chituka does very well to pick it up and make a bit of ground as well. Nahamba now again with the ball. Much better pass. And it's a good run as well. Almost onto the 5-meter line the Lions are here. The Warriors are really struggling to defend against the Lions. The Lions running forward very, very hard and very flat. Russ again making some more moves. Inside 5 meters, the Lions. Chituka with the ball. He turns in the tackle. Tries to drive his legs forward. First one not to make meters. Nahamba now with the ball, assessing where his options are. Pass it through to, I think it's Skuman, who does get taken down, but makes a little bit of ground. Nahamba now passing through to PJ Buerta. I'm surprised he didn't knock it on. He goes forward, does make it. Oh, he does knock it on. There you go. I told you. I told you he would. I just knew it was coming. And yeah, now comes to Jordan, who's coming out. Warriors are right on the line here. It's going to be up to the last ditch tackle from McClane here. McClane goes for the tackle. He takes him out. It's a great tackle right on the line. Great tackle by Rabs McClane there on the line to stop that try being scored. Absolutely crucial that he had to do there. And Lions will get Craig Horn back onto the field. So they will be back up to 14 men. And that's going to be the maximum number of people they can have on the pitch for the remainder of this half. Fantastic tackle there by Rabs McClane, who's not really had a big game. He's had a very quiet game. But doing very well when it mattered there defensively. And yeah, Lions will now have a a line out to themselves in these last 10 minutes here. It's literally on the 5-meter line, their own 5-meter line. So it's very crucial that they don't mess this line out up. And they need to win it and kick the ball out and get themselves in a decent position. So Lions should have Horn back on the field in the full-back position. So they should be back up to 14 men. As we do see Johnny Lombard, I think, has come off. And I just want to confirm. I think it is Lombard who's come off. And I think we might also have a scrum. No, Nahamba is still on the field, so no scrum half change. I thought we'd had a scrum half change. Now, our biggest issue is that this is PJ Buerta who's now going to have to put the ball in. And he puts the ball in. They do somehow win it. Lions doing well there. Chituka now having to run this ball up. He's just set up to basically defend and create an easy ruck. There's no rolling there from the Western Warriors, but the Glasgow Warriors, but not a penalisable offence. Nahamba now with the ball, box kick. He takes the kick out. I don't think it's out. It is out. It's actually a very good kick, and it's a good chase by Ras McClane as well. So Lions do exit quite well. We've got just 10 minutes left of this game. Can the Lions hold on? Of course, Glasgow need to score twice in order to go ahead of the Lions. So can the Lions keep them out before the end of this game? It would be a huge victory for the Lions, and Drea made it ever so more difficult by getting a red card himself for an idiotic piece of foul play, diving in to a tackle from the side with intent of damaging a player who's exposed and unable to defend himself. And it goes almost for head contact. I think that's what the TMO said was head contact, but it's been knocked on here by Glasgow Warriors in their attempt to attack from that line out. So again, all going in favour of the Lions right now, and managing to survive yet another attack from the Glasgow Warriors. And it will be a scrum midway in the middle of the Lions half, basically. And Lions will take their time on this, and they'll need to try and get forward here. We see, of course, because of the red card to Drea, and Klabakanya is going to have to come back on as a specialist position. So somebody's going to have to be sacrificed. I don't know which player it is that's going to be sacrificed. And they're opting for a water break here. I don't know why a water break now. We've only got 10 minutes left of this game. And we do also see that Morne van den Berg comes on in place of Nahamba, who's had a fantastic game, Nahamba. Certainly up there for man of the match possibility. I think the two Horns, before Quaid Horn got his yellow card, I think he would have been up there. But I think Frankie Horn is certainly also up there for a possible man of the match performance. But I think also one might also have to look at Ruan Fenter, who's also had a storming game in honour of his late father as well. So lots of candidates for the Lions, but certainly tell you who's not going to get the man of the match. That's Ruan Drea, who's made his last 10 minutes and his last 15 minutes of the Lions so difficult as a result of his idiotic red card. And as a result, and Klabakanya does come back on in the specialist position. And I'm still yet to see who the player sacrificed is. We'll confirm for you. Strali. It's Strali who's unfortunately had to make way for Klabakanya. And Lions are going to have a 7-man scrum. And yeah, they're going to have to try and do their absolute best to win the scrum first. And then just play from there. 9 minutes left of this game. Lions are watching every second countdown. And Morne van den Berg is going to have to fill some big boots in the Humber now for these last 10 minutes. He's got to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid. The scrum is set. There's a very good hit from Glasgow Warriors. So Lions are going to need to defend this, get this ball out as quickly as possible. Morne van den Berg does. And he's being tackled, but the Lions still doing very well to stop that ball from going to the Glasgow's possession. So did well there, Morne van den Berg. And the Lions calling for support here. And Klabakanya receives it. He goes straight down, setting up a very, very good little ruck. And so the Lions have got space for Morne van den Berg to take this ball and kick it as deep into the Glasgow half as possible. The ref will tell him to use it now. PJ Buerta eventually coming in to make this as long as possible. So Morne van den Berg has all the time in the world to kick it. It's an up and under attempt. McClane is chasing. He will get there, but I think it's a slight obstruction, but he does make the tackle. Glasgow Warriors now with the ball inside their own half. Edward van der Merwe trying to come across to defend. Does very well there, the centres there for the Lions. And Glasgow Warriors making up a little bit of hash of some of these passes, but trying to attack themselves. Now they've got numbers on the wing, and not able to get it there. They're on their own 10-metre line. Lions doing well to defend so far. Can they keep it up? Oh, it's a forward pass, surely. Forward pass. Ref. And they've not seen it. Nonetheless, they're going to carry on. Lions still making these tackles, doing very well to get across. This Lions defense not been easy to get past today. Spreading their line very nicely here, the Lions. Making sure they don't get past. Somebody needs to make a tackle now, though. They made a little bit of ground. And Jordan is eventually taken down. Spreading the line, the Warriors not able to get through still. There's a lot of space on this outside here. The Lions are going to be very careful. Edward van der Merwe not getting through. It's a misplaced pass by the Glasgow Warriors. Edward van der Merwe is trying to steal this ball. He has done. Literally, the ball was popping around the man's hands, and Edward van der Merwe, instead of tackling, just decided to take the ball. And it's advantage to the Lions, I think, for a knock-on. So Lions do have the ball inside the Glasgow Warriors half, and now it's their turn to attack as they're spreading it through the line. It comes to Horn, who goes and tackles very hard. My word, it was a hard challenge. I think there was a head contact there made on the Glasgow Warriors player. Nonetheless, Morne van den Berg gets it out to PJ Buerta, who runs it up himself and gets taken down. And very well cleared there. And Morne van den Berg still operating here. Passes the ball back. Lions just doing very well to hold on to this ball now. Morne van den Berg passes to Skuman. Passes to Lombard. Now Rubs McClane trying to get involved in this game now. Comes back to Gianni Lombard, who opts to grab it behind. Horn is chasing but not able to get there. And it's going to come back for the advantage. I think there was actually a penalty advantage. So Lions doing very well just to waste some time there. And still got the penalty advantage, which they're taking. It was an offside penalty. So Lions should be able to hold on now. They've got 6 minutes left. Yeah, advantage was given for offsides against Glasgow Warriors. So Lions got a very good opportunity here to hopefully score a try. I think I wouldn't go for posts if I was them. They have actually gone for posts. I'm not quite sure why, if I'm honest. I would rather waste time down inside the 22 of the Glasgow half. But nonetheless, they have gone for points. They're just going to take some time up, obviously. That's the only good thing. But you would actually waste a bit more time if you did kick it on the line. As well as it's still only a 2-score game right now. Even if Lions get this kick over, it'll become 35 points to 24. If Glasgow score 2 tries, they will put themselves in the lead. If Glasgow score a try and get the penalty over, then that's the only reason why you want this kick, because then it'll only be 34 points to Glasgow. So it does mean that Glasgow have to go for 2 tries. So that's the only thing I can think of. But other than that, I would rather waste time in the 22 if I'm quite frank. John Lombard with the kick. Looks to be good. It is good. So 35 points, 224 for the Lions. Can they survive these last 5 minutes with 14 men? Let me know in the comments, of course. Let me know of the clash. Let me know what you think of this game so far. And that was Gianni Lombard's last involvement in this game. He has been substituted. He has a decent game, but he did miss quite a few kicks as well, though. So, yeah, can't be a man of the match for me. But Lions now making some subs. And going to have to try and survive these last 4.5 minutes. Glasgow get the game going again. It's a relatively deep restart from Glasgow. Frankie Horn underneath it, and he runs himself up and makes some good ground. And taken out just inside his 22 still. Morne van den Berg passes the ball in. He now calls for players to come and form so that he can get a box kick away. Or he'll pass it all the way back. Comes to Andries Kutsia, who's now on the field. He punts the ball further upfield. It's a good kick, but it's not out. So Glasgow Warriors are going to come back. And they're running at the Lions line very quickly. Rasmus Kleine going to have to try and defend 2 people here. Eventually receives support. And the Lions just going to have to try and hold on here again. Glasgow inside the Lions, 10-meter line. Lions are over this ball. Lions are still over this ball. Ball somehow popped out. Morne van den Berg's chasing. Rasmus Kleine. It's going through. He's kicked it through. He's grabbing it through, but the penalty, the ref has come back. I don't know what for. I think a penalty. No. I think there's a knock-on from the Lions. I think that's what the issue was. I think they're going to come back for a knock-on. But almost brilliantly done by the Lions. It'll be a scrum. As I say, I think to Glasgow Warriors, I think. Or is it to the Lions? I've got 3 minutes left here. The Lions have got to survive. 3 minutes. It will be a Glasgow put in for the scrum. And of course, Lions have only got 7 people in the scrum, so this might well be a scrum penalty. But luckily, Glasgow Warriors wasting time here as a result of a reset scrum. So it's going to be even more precious time taken away from them. And I think that was a little tactical from the Lions. They're just putting them off. So, yes, Lions going to have to try and do the scrum with 7 men. They're going to have to really put their backs into it to try and not concede a scrum penalty. It's very crucial they don't. Free kick has been given to Glasgow Warriors. I'm not quite sure what for, but it's not a penalty, so they can't kick it out. So they will only tap it from here. So not the worst decision, and they can only reset a scrum. So they might well take another reset scrum, but that's going to waste even more time. And I think there's too little time now for the Glasgow Warriors to come back. So I think the Lions will win this game, as the Glasgow Warriors need to score 2 tries within 2 minutes. That's not going to happen. So Lions have won this game. It's just by how much now. Can they hold on and stop the Glasgow Warriors from scoring a try before the end of this game? And so Ruan made it as hard as possible for his teammates to get the victory today. But nonetheless, the Lions team have come out on top. Lions doing very well to hold the scrum up, but now starting to falter underneath the pressure, but actually getting pressure of their own. And it will be an advantage to the Glasgow Warriors. Here comes Glasgow Warriors with an advantage. And it's a forward pass. They won't be able to continue. They're going to come back for the penalty against the Lions. And he's kicking for the line here, the Glasgow Warriors. Kick is made, and the kick is not brilliant, but it is about 15-ish meters away from the Lions try line. And as I say, can the Lions just stop them from scoring this try right at the end? We've got just over a minute left, and yeah. The ball goes in. Lions steal it. Lions steal it in the line out. Absolutely brilliant steal from the Lions. I'll tell you what the Lions have done very well today is competing in the opposition lineouts. They have won quite a few of them and caused real issues for the Glasgow Warriors. So they did very well there. And now with the ball in their hands, in their own 22, they can afford to waste lots of time here. Got 30 seconds left of this game. Morne van den Berg looks to be opting to kick this ball as far out as possible. And I think it will be a... No, he's just passed it back, in fact. So they opted for it, and now it's come all the way to Craig Horn on the far side, as Andrews could see at least. And the ball has been kicked, and it's out inside the 22. It's Craig Horn indeed who kicked it, and it's gone out about the halfway line. So yeah, victory definitely for the Lions today, and they're just going to play one more piece before the game is over. And the hooter sounds. This will be the final piece of play. Glasgow Warriors have been beaten by the Lions. Just by how much? Lions trying to compete to the lineout again. Doing well to disrupt it. And steal the ball in the tackle. And they've stolen the ball back, I think. Ball is all over the ground. Ball has been knocked on. That'll be the end of the game. 80 minutes done. Lions win the game. 35 points to Glasgow's 24. And yeah, Lions get that crucial victory they've been after. And the winning streak for the Glasgow Warriors comes to an end. And the losing streak for the Lions comes to an end as well. Lions beat Glasgow Warriors 35 points to 24 at Emirates Airline Park in this URC encounter. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. You have been watching Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. My name has been Mark. Thank you so much for your company. What a great result for the Lions. I'm so chuffed. Really am chuffed. And the fans are just as chuffed as well. It's been a while since they've seen a win at home as well, because they've not been doing particularly well at home. 2 wins and 4 losses, but now they made it 3 wins and 4 losses at home. So can the Lions keep this momentum up, and can they take it forward and win some more matches to maybe challenge for a quarter-final position? Nonetheless, today's match, a victory. Frankie back, and the Lions win again. Exactly what they've been missing. Frankie Horn, probably my man of the match as well. So nonetheless, that has been Forever Rugby. Thank you so much for watching with me. I'm going to say goodbye.
I found a picture we took many years ago. When I said to you we would